Welcome to Conformist Peach Cobbler, a horror pod. I am Brad Reed. I am joined by Thunderlips, Nugget McCluskey. I feel like you had to have a last name, and since you don't really have a last name, that's your new last name.
Okay. Well, again, why the Thunderlips thing? Is it because of the
in the other episode? Yeah. What do you got on? What do you got on right there?
I'm showing a little skin. I just got done mowing, so
yeah. It's just, it just stuck because you are like we both did radio for sure, but you are the radio superstar. I knew you were gonna hate it when I said it, but it's true. So I just feel like Thunderlips is the perfect name for you.
Then you have to be Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You're the Mr. T of this podcast.
I'll take it. When I was young, like I would go to Eufaula in the summers because my grandparents had a trailer out there, and you go to like the little, I think they used to call them like 5 and dime stores or whatever they called them, and so it'd be a bunch of junk. But like I remember going and they'd have like the Mr. T set with like the gold chains and like the gloves, the fingerless gloves. And I thought I was a badass,
Oh, so you had it on, you tried it on?
No, I bought them. I bought them probably a few years in a row. I would go out there and get them and strut around all summer thinking, man, when I go back to school, I'm going to be Mr. T. I'm going to be, nobody's going to mess with me. And then of course I find myself in the trash can, but
B.A. Reed.
Yeah.
I love it.
Speaking of school, we're kind of doing a back to school special today since my kids are grown, so they're not back to school, but this is the time like when on Facebook everybody's posting this is the kids' first day, and then it's also the day that I have to start slowing down around the neighborhoods because people are dropping kids off. And of course
the Stang don't slow down.
Well, actually I have a Challenger now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I did have a Stang. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I purposefully go everywhere late because I'm just like that. And so I'm on my way to work late, and all these people are, blocking off a whole street to drop off their kids. And I'm like, God, make your kids ride the bus, you bougie bungholes. I had to ride the bus. Did you ride the bus?
I did ride the bus, yeah.
See, we should probably, there's a perfect horror movie, like The School Bus.
Yeah, like Nightmare on Elm Street or
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Did it take place on a school bus though, like the whole time?
There was a scene. Yeah, there was a scene on the school bus.
I had to go back. See, that's the next series that I'm gonna have to go back and refresh because it's been so long. I did refresh myself on Friday the 13th the other day because it was Friday the 13th the other day. So we'll talk about that too. But yeah. Oh man, there's so many horror stories that we could tell about school though. But we'll give our top 5 horror movies that either take place in a school, school age people, I guess. I'm not sure the exact parameters, but it's school themed.
Yeah. And of course, being an overachiever like I was in school, I made a top 10 thinking that.
Did you say top 10? Oh.
Yeah, that's okay though. I just do top 5 because it's ridiculous how over.
Well, I have a few honorable mentions too, so we'll make it work.
Perfect.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some horror TV shows real quick before we get going. American Horror Stories is the hit of the summer I guess it's on FX and then it's on Hulu as well.
So does it, we don't have cable. Does it show on FX?
I don't know. Like, I'm not exactly sure because do you watch it on Hulu as well, I guess?
Yeah.
It says like FX on Hulu. Same for like Reservation Dogs. So I'm not sure because like Reservation Dogs has some, hard F-bombs. So I don't know if they're editing that out, if they just show that on FX now. I haven't watched real cable in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Yeah, I think is some stuff that's just on Hulu. That's FX on. They have a deal. Like I'm not sure if it actually airs. I don't know.
Well, if you're watching, FX on cable, then you're probably too old for AHS anyway. No, I'm kidding. I'm too. But like, I feel like most people have cut the cord recently. You know what I'm saying? But there's a few more episodes than what we're going to talk about because we have gone over the first 4. And this, like we have mentioned before, this series is, other than the first 2, which was like a part 1 and part 2, all the episodes that come after this are all, their own standalone episodes. So we talked about the ones that followed. And then the latest one that I've seen, and we'll talk about the other 2 that have come out just in the last couple weeks next time. But the latest one I saw was called Baal, which I don't really want to say it around here. Like,
You don't want to conjure?
No, because like I've already got like, what if tomorrow I walk in here and there's snakes everywhere and scorpions and spiders?
Snakes on a pod.
Yeah. There's definitely, man, in the garage is right next door to me. I went out there yesterday to grab some action figures that were in boxes, and there's spiders everywhere. It was
I mean, come on. When a 42-year-old man wants to grab his action figures from his garage, he should be left alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Out there eating my Conformist Peach Cobbler.
So what'd you think of Ball?
I liked it. So like some of the other episodes I would have told like Cameo, like, man, you could watch that. That's not as bad. This one, though, for the people who don't like demon stuff and all that, you're not going to like this one. There's nothing about it you're going to like.
This is a straight up Rosemary's Baby / the Omen, before Damien is born.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like a lot of Rosemary's Baby going around recently, I feel like, which is odd. But yeah, so this one definitely. And then it had a twist at the end, and I enjoyed that. But I was kind of wondering, like, what your take on that was, because, do you get so, I guess, trained with twists nowadays that none of them really are all that shocking to you?
Yeah, I can usually see it coming.
Did you see that one coming?
And I like how AHS, there's not always a twist. I did see that one coming.
Yeah, I did too, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, like he had something going on with this whole situation.
Yeah. And so, but it's like you said, like, I wish I could kind of go back and watch Psycho for the first time when I was younger again, or some of those movies that, like, they had different twists, and, like, I didn't know, so it was special. It was like losing, your virginity for the first time. But
what'd you think?
I actually lost my horror movie virginity long before I lost my other virginity. Go ahead, Nugget.
No, I was gonna say, what'd you think of Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billie Lourd?
I thought she was good. I've seen her in something else. I know. I can't remember.
She's one of Ryan Murphy's actors.
Oh, okay. But she was in one of the Star Wars movies recently, wasn't she?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. And then I think I've seen her in something else. I think she's a good actress. She kind of has that like authenticness to her, where she seems kind of real when she does her roles. I feel like, I don't know.
I'm not a fan.
You don't like her?
No, I think she's a terrible actress.
You really do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Her delivery is like she's reading. It's brutal.
Really?
And I think. Yeah, just because her mom is Carrie Fisher, she gets these roles. I'm like, put anybody else in there would have been better.
Interesting. So, like, I kind of could see where you're talking about towards the end. I thought where she kind of had to do maybe like a 180 on her character, and at that point maybe I see your point there. But I mean, I don't know. I was really kind of impressed with her acting, to be honest. Like, I don't know. She seems like she wasn't going too high, too low. You know what I mean? But that was my opinion.
Have you seen? So you haven't seen any other ones? Did you see the one after that, Feral?
No, I haven't seen. I guess there was that one, and then this week's, right?
Yeah, feral is like what you think would be is Bigfoot. Turns out it's just feral people, which it's kind of it's a cool story. I'll let you watch. And then the new one is all fourth wall, all like they're creating a American Horror video game, American Horror Story video game, and it's a TV show. And but the house is real, and you don't really like what reality. Like the house is a real place.
Yeah.
That these crimes took place, and they're creating a video game based on the show. It's like very. There's many layers to it.
That's interesting. I want to watch that. Have you heard of like these VR experiences that they're doing that are kind of like, I think they've got maybe some horror elements, some sci-fi, different ones you can do. Man, it's going to be crazy pretty soon. So just based on that, I'm going to rabbit trail off for just a second. Like the video game aspect, was it like something like that where it was kind of like a VR experience?
No, it's like a regular video game. Have you done VR yet?
I've done it on the PS4 with Rogue Squadrons, which was crazy.
Nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, the horror movie ones are pretty intense.
Ooh, I would like to do that.
Yeah, I've done it. I like it. You really kind of lose yourself in it.
That's pretty sweet.
A little pee comes out, a little shit.
Well, so I was going to ask you, just kind of based off of that, are there any horror video games that you like? Like, one of them, I enjoyed like The Last of Us, but I haven't played all the way through it because I'm really bad about playing through whole video games. Like, I have a really short attention span. But then there was also the Friday the 13th video game that came out not too long ago, and I actually loved that game.
Yeah, that was fun. That's a fun game. I played it on Switch, and it's a pretty fun game.
To me, that is one of the only games that, other than the Call of Duty zombies, that does give me a little anxiety as like swarms of zombies start coming in on you as you get like higher in the levels. But with the Friday the 13th, like, it actually creeped me out because you're like trying to hide if you're not Jason. And, you know, when he's getting closer, the music starts getting more suspenseful. And it really does kind of creep you out because you're like, oh, God, I'm going to hide under the bed. And then he comes in and like, you know, busts through everything. And yeah, I like that game. I
liked playing as Jason because they kind of give you like options on how to kill people. It was pretty cool.
I just kind of wish they had like a first player, like just where you could play it by yourself. Without playing with all the other people online, because like I remember one of the first times me and all the people are escaping and we get in the car and I'm like, I had the keys so I had to drive, but I got us all killed basically in the car. So and it didn't even last very long. It was just, we died. How
about did you play in the early 2000s? Did you play like Silent Hill and Resident Evil?
Not really.
Okay,
those are pretty good.
Those were fun. Those were fun games.
Yeah. I'll try to check those out. I didn't even watch the movies. Are the movies pretty good too?
The Silent Hill is surprisingly like brutal, like violent, really, really violent. And Resident Evil, you know, they didn't really follow the video game, which they're rebooting that and actually going to follow the video game. You know, it just became the Mila Jovovich show, basically, her kicking ass, kicking zombie butt. But the video game, they're just going to reboot it and make it more like that.
Do you remember the old like Nintendo Jason video game? I loved that one. I love that one. Castlevania.
Yes,
I dug those.
Yeah, I played all those.
Yeah, so those are some of the good ones that I like. The horror.
Hey, yeah. So like with the American Horror Stories, they just released the trailer for Red Tide, the first part of American Horror Story season 10 or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. I haven't seen it yet.
Because they're doing a double feature, so it's going to be one half of the season is going to be one story, and the other half is going to be another story. Nice. So the first half is vampires, and the second half is going to be aliens. So they released the first trailer, the first half.
Man, what was it that I was watching? It was the Jordan Peele. What did he did the anthology not too long ago.
The Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone, yes. Thank you. Sorry, I blanked out. But like most of those were like, I'd say 75% of them were aliens, right? Was that how it was on the original Twilight Zone?
Yeah, a lot of them were about aliens.
I just can't remember because that was something I used to watch all the time, but it's been a minute. So, all right. So there's another show I want to talk to you about because I actually, me and my wife we had seen you recommend this show on Netflix called Brand New Cherry Flavor. And I don't remember how many episodes there are. I watched one episode and I turned it off. My wife has continued watching it. She loves it.
Okay. Well, so what was wrong?
Well, spoiler alert for everybody out there. When she's puking up little kitty cats, I can't take it. That's just nasty. Nasty.
So it was you had to pull the plug on it? You couldn't watch it?
Yeah. I mean, that's just gross. And then they're all covered in all that puke and saliva, and people just pick them up like, oh, sweet little kitty. I'm like, oh.
That was a little weird. And it's
not the only one time. It doesn't happen just once. Like, I remember walking in on Jen watching it, and I was like, she's doing it. And I was like, oh, God, I'm out.
So like it was, the whole thing is weird. I'm sure Jen told you that it gets even weirder.
Yeah,
like,
because it starts off like, is this a horror show? You know, like for the first, I say 3/4 of the first episode, and then it starts getting weird real quick.
So it's the people who did Channel Zero. I don't know if you ever watched any of those on Sci-Fi.
I hadn't.
Those are all based on creepypasta. With they turned it into a Netflix thing. I'm not sure if they're all going to be on Netflix now, but did you ever watch? You didn't watch any Channel Zero?
No.
Oh, they're good.
I got to check it out.
They're good. They get a little bit like, all right, let's wrap this up. You know, they drag them out a little bit too long, like American Horror Story. But yeah, that's just one of the. I actually wrote down the weirdest things in Brand New Cherry Flavor. So
go ahead.
Peyote inducing eyeball eating. Peyote inducing eyeball eating.
Yes.
There's an eyeball eating scene with peyote.
I think I remember seeing that at some point. Yes.
Slippers made from kittens.
Oh no, like real kittens?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm out. See, I'm out.
Worms plucked from eyeballs.
Ew.
A woman puking up cats, and as I tweeted, side hole diddling.
Yeah, that's what I think I did see that, and I was like, side hole diddling, I'm in.
Well, okay.
Oh, that's right, because Jen told me she no longer pukes them up.
She asked the whatever she was, witchcraft, Catherine Keener, to. She said, I don't want to throw up cats anymore. So
of course.
Catherine Keener made her a side hole.
No.
It's basically a side womb. A side
vagine.
It's a vagine.
A vagine.
So
there's some love that happens.
They diddle it.
Oh no. Okay. All right. So are those the weird things, or are those the things you like about the show?
Those are like the
both?
weirdest things I thought. Yeah.
So what do you like?
I liked them.
No, I'm kidding about like not wanting to watch them anymore. That did disgust me though. I can't tell. I mean, and it's a horror, so if you can find a new clever way to like actually get a reaction from me, who that's good. It is.
I've never seen a side vagina. I have
something
I've never seen.
It was overseas. Yeah, like it was in Greece. I saw.
Did you have to pay for it?
Yeah. So I also saw a half man, half dolphin.
Like a merman?
I wish I want to. Do you know that reference? I saw half man, half dolphin. Oh, SLC Punk. Do you remember that movie? Did you see that movie?
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't get that.
Yeah, it's because we weren't talking about funny, great movies. We were talking about a horror show with side diddling.
Like you would turn down a side vagina.
I probably would. Yeah, that's. There's not a lot. Like if we just go down your list of those things, like here's the things about this show. I think most people are gonna be like, oh no. What is a cherry flavor about that?
Yeah, right. There's no reference to why it's called Brand New Cherry Flavor either. I don't know why.
So I did get a little confused, and I guess it might be spoilery. So, but we are doing spoilers, so you know, continue with caution if you haven't watched it. But is there something about her movies that like make people do stuff, or because I did catch a little bit of the lady with the eye patch, and you referenced the eating of the eye. Like she was horrified, like she didn't know what was going on, but she was in that movie, so I was kind of like, what's going on here?
Well, they're in a relationship, so she would do basically anything for the lead actress.
Oh, and was she on drugs when she did it? So
she was on peyote, yeah.
I got it. Okay, now that makes sense. Wait.
Which after watching that, I thought, like, maybe I'm on peyote right now because there's a side vagina and there's cats being thrown up. And
oh, no. Oh, my gosh. So from what you're saying, she made her eat her own... Ugh.
She did not stop her, basically.
Oh, my gosh. Anything for a great movie. If you want to eat your eye on our horror pod, I will allow you to do it. Yeah.
Hack.
Amateur. All right, let's move on to Fresh Blood. We got some trailers that you have uncovered. I guess maybe some suggestions for us to go watch, and some news, some movie news. So let's hear it.
Yes. So first off, Candyman comes out at the end of the month on the 27th. So next weekend. I'm sure this will come. What will this come out this weekend? Probably.
Yeah, I'll probably get this up within a day or two. And it's Thursday as we're recording it, so no later than Saturday.
You know, fingers crossed that that Delta doesn't push everything back. We're going to get it next weekend. So
oh my gosh,
that's super exciting.
And that one's like only in theaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what worries me about those, because like I'm not necessarily wanting to go out when I don't have to at this point, and I'm like fully vaccinated, you know. But I got to go see that movie. So, like, Don't Breathe 2 just came out, and I want to see that movie, but I haven't braved the theaters. And if it was online, I would watch it. But Candyman, I'm going to see that one for sure.
So just go like during the day and get a reserved seat, like plenty of space. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We've probably seen 3 or 4 movies since things have kind of opened up again.
Yeah.
And we just find a movie with nobody in it. Come, late, reserve our seats, and it's usually we're in the clear most of the time. We did see Free Guy, and that place, it was packed. Not packed, but it was pretty crowded.
Was that a good movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
I wish we could have fit in Don't Breathe 2. I wanted to see that really bad.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is a little off. This is more like a Nerds to Men question, but I'm interested right now. So you saw the Suicide Squad, and then you saw Free Guy, and a lot of people were comparing the two because they were saying that the Suicide Squad is rated R. It's, based off a movie people didn't like, and it's on HBO Max, so nobody went out to see it. But they were saying Free Guy should, smash the box office with it being in theaters only, and it did okay. It did pretty good, but so did you go see the Suicide Squad in theaters, or were you just like, man, it's too easy to watch it at home?
It's way just to turn it on. I know you don't get the whole experience of the giant starfish butthole, but it's still like the comfort of your home and security. It's just nice.
And there was no side diddling in the Suicide Squad, but potential. No. Well, actually there could have been, actually, because the Starro does make reference to the fact that the Thinker had violated them, which I laugh because it's Starro, but not violation in general isn't funny, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, lots of side diddling on this podcast. I don't know why. Okay, some movies. The Old Ways is coming to Netflix on the 25th, which I think is was that Tuesday? And Wednesday. What's that one about? It's a reporter who goes home to do a story about witchcraft, and her hometown decides that she's possessed. It looks pretty good. You check out the trailer. It's a Netflix movie. The Old Ways.
Yeah, Superhost is coming out on the 2nd. It's on Shudder. It's about a vlogger who runs it. It reminds me of the movie. You remember Creep?
Yes.
Did you watch Creep?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It looks pretty good. Night House is finally out this weekend.
Ooh, I do want to see that.
Demonic is on VOD this weekend, so that's another one I think I talked about. There's a movie called Held on Hulu, which is not, it's pretty good. It's not great. It's like if it's like Get Out, but with more like marriage counseling.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Step for Wives kind of Get Out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not bad though. Casting on Pet Cemetery prequel just started, and they got Henry Thomas, who from E.T.
Yeah.
Elliot, and then Samantha Mathis, who's from American Psycho. Those are the two actors they have so far.
Right on.
So that's rolling. And there's a movie called Motherly. It's about it's like a mom revenge movie. Looks pretty good. And We Need to Do Something. I watched the snippet of this movie. It looks really good. There's a scene. It's like a Holocaust, or not a Holocaust, but a apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
But you don't know if it's apocalypse or if they're just trapped in some purgatory or something.
Oh, cool.
But there's a really cool snippet online from the movie where they think a dog is outside and they're like petting the dog. And they're like, it's like licking their hand. Oh, it's a dog. And you hear the dog go, "I am a good boy."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you're such a good boy." Yeah, it's kind of creepy, but
scary.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Midnight Mass there's a trailer online. That's the people who did Hill House Haunting and Bly House or Bly Manor, whatever that was called.
Yeah. Blah Manor is what I think we called it.
Manor.
Yeah, but I did see, they got a new one coming out. So that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, just a real quick, go check them out. Check out the trailers. They're good.
I like it. But there's a lot of horror movies on the way. So that's pretty dope. Mm-hmm. Like, has it picked up, or am I just like a snob and just not been looking for all these great horror movies? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's picked up, and I think they are cheaper to make.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to get big leads. People watch them without big stars,
Right.
Is there anything you have an eye out for? What are you looking at? What are you watching?
I mean, like Candyman is definitely on my radar for sure. And then, of course, Halloween Kills, And then I've been going back and just trying to watch a bunch of older stuff because I just kind of like movies from the 70s for some reason. Like, they just have like a cool tone. A lot of times they were more based on suspense or relying on acting in some cases and different things where now you can just really kind of CGI everything and do, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing lately. But my worry though is like Halloween Kills, like everything's getting pushed back and stuff. Venom got pushed. Like if Halloween gets pushed, how's that going to work? Because nobody's going to want to go see that in December, right?
I mean, I still see it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's kind of it's a tradition.
Yeah, so I don't know about that one. Like, I feel like that I heard a rumor too that they might find a way to get it streaming by actual Halloween. So it's supposed to come out in the beginning of October. No, actually, it's supposed to come out October 15th, the same day Venom comes out. And
yeah, I read something. Were you telling me about this, that it was supposed to be VOD on Halloween?
So, yeah, that's what they're saying. I don't know for sure. So hopefully that happens, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the stuff. But like, that's the thing is sometimes, like back in the day, I used to with music and movies, and I'd pour through things, like go to the record store and just look through all kinds of stuff to find, whatever. But nowadays it's like, I don't have time to like sort through all these, maybe smaller movies that I wouldn't hear about. So I feel like that's a good service we provide for people like me who love horror, but aren't, necessarily on the lookout as much as you are. So I appreciate it.
So what do you do? What are your hobbies besides work and podcasting?
Me, myself, I play bass, so I've been learning some songs to play with this they're actually a band that's been around a while, but they're wanting to record music and stuff. So that, and I do collect like action figures and stuff. I don't know if I call that a hobby. It's not like I spend time with them and paint them and stuff, but I've
been drawing.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
Can I do a portrait of you?
Yeah, I would love for you to do a portrait of me. Should I just sit here, like sit still?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can I get like a profile?
Yeah, like that, or. And for those listening to the pod, if you want to watch the pod and see Nugget drawing me live, you can check out our Facebooks, our YouTube.
One of my French girls.
Yes.
Okay, I think I nailed it.
Okay.
I think I nailed it.
Let's see it. Oh man. Yeah, that looks so good.
Look, he even says, "Hi, I'm Brad."
Yeah, I love it because I have the hat on like normal, and then I have like a hairy chest, like a buxom, hairy, manly
chest. Balls.
Oh,
those are balls.
Oh, dang. Oh.
Yeah, because you're a penis.
Oh, man, that was impressive though. Like you drew that so quick, and it's still, even though it's a penis, it looks just like me. So thank you for that.
That was a bit. It's theater. End scene.
Yes. So like I say, people, if you're like listening, you're like, that sounds hilarious. Let me go look at this. Penis Brad. Facebook, YouTube, Nerds to Men are the pages, and then you find our pods.
That's Brad Ween.
I like it. Also, just to let everybody know, if you do listen to the pods, like in your car, at home, at work, or in your car, you can do so at patreon.com/dopepods, and that gets you all the Nerds to Men and Conformist Peach Cobbler pods ad-free, except for like the ads me and Nugget do to promote our, our ass creams and whatnot. So
Valtrex.
Yeah.
Hey, it fixes what's ailing. Valtrex. And you know what's ailing? I'm talking about ass warts.
Yeah, I got ass warts, man. All right, so I mentioned earlier speeding through neighborhoods and having to stop for kids now because it's back to school. So be careful when you're going through all the school stops and stuff. We joke, but we want people to be safe, especially the kids. Yeah. But there's. Go ahead.
All the kids went back to, are some of them still in college?
No, actually. Well, so Morgan is doing her residency, so she's basically graduated as a doctor, but she still has to do her residency up there at University of OU Tulsa. Noah is back. He was in the Air Force, and now he's going to school up in Tulsa. That's for like aviation. So they're back to school, but like they're like 27 is Noah's age, so he doesn't want to do a first day of school picture. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't want to hold up a chalkboard that says.
Yeah. And Jonah, he's in the Oklahoma City Police Department. That's where he works, and also lives in the basement as the GIMP. And then,
so you have somebody who works in law enforcement, somebody who's a doctor, and in the military.
Yeah, and then
that's pretty impressive.
And then Gideon, the youngest, he just joined the Navy and got married. So, yeah.
No. So yeah, that's Harvey. Just started the 3rd grade Wednesday.
And does he ride the bus?
He doesn't. His mom is a teacher. His mom's a teacher.
Oh,
so
okay. All right.
He kind of has that.
Because riding the bus does build character. I hated riding the bus. I would get like the fumes would make me sick like every day coming home. In the hot afternoon sun. I hated it.
Do you remember those like green seats?
Yeah.
Covered in boogers. Oh, that's so gross.
And like, like they don't even care about you because there's no seat belts.
No.
So it's crazy. Like one time in school, here's a school horror story. In 6th grade at Nakoma Park, that was before you came to that school, I'm pretty sure. But I was sitting there in class. It was like at the end of the day, and you remember the junior high's up on the top of the hill, and the little school is at the bottom of the hill. Well, one of the bus drivers had got out of their bus and didn't set the parking brake or something, because that bus goes down the hill and right through our wall. Like, our teacher looks up, was like, everybody get out. And like, man, I was always a chubby kid, but I was like, boom, right out the door. And I looked back in and, like, you know, it had come right through the wall. Some of the kids that were sitting along the wall were like covered in the rubble. Like, nobody died or anything, but like that one kid got a pretty nice little settlement, I heard, and I'm sure, you know.
What?
So.
Like, that's some Final Destination stuff right there. That's awesome. I mean, that's not awesome, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts.
Was Jesse Tiffany there?
I don't remember. I don't think I knew Jesse either till junior high. So, because you know, Nakoma Park, you got there in junior high, right? Or did you go to the elementaries at all?
I got there. I was there 7th, 8th, 9th.
So before you get to there was kids that went to Westfall, like elementary, and kids that went to Nakoma Park. And then we all came together in the 7th grade, which made it real awkward because the Westfall kids and the Nakoma Park kids had to kind of, you know, struggle for dominance. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So it was not my most fun times in junior high. I kind of hated junior high, to be honest. So did you lived in Choctaw though, right? Yeah, well, actually, I lived in Oklahoma City, but it was considered Choctaw area. Like, there's, you know, Oklahoma City has like a wide-ranging reach, and so like there's a sliver of it that goes out like on 29th Street and stuff by Tinker. That's, you know, goes to Nakoma Park and Choctaw schools. But my zip was for Oklahoma City. But then, like, if we were gonna go to the city or the town or whatever, it was like a big deal, you know what I mean?
But it was weird, like that whole area, like we lived behind the high school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And drove 20 minutes to Nakoma Park Junior High.
Yeah.
It made no sense, like the way that everything was zoned.
Yeah, it was weird. But see, there was a Choctaw Junior High, but it would have been like way closer to you if you were behind the high school. That's crazy.
Well, like, because Nakoma Park is like a blend of Spencer and Midwest City and Choctaw and Nakoma Park all.
Spencer and Midwest City have their own schools, but a lot of people are like on that outlier section. And you know, interestingly enough, a lot of the years that I was in junior high and like 5th and 6th grade, we moved around a lot. And so, like, we lived in Spencer, Del City, but we used my grandma's address. And so my mom would drop us off early in the morning, and we'd catch the bus and go to Nakoma Park. And then she'd go to work, and then she'd pick us up. You know, we'd ride the bus home to our grandma's house and all that. So we were cheating.
Hey, you know what? That's stable, though, to stay with the same group of kids.
Yeah, because there was a time when I was in kindergarten, and halfway through, we moved to Moore, we moved to Norman. Like, I don't even remember all the schools I went to there for a half minute. You know what I mean? So from the 3rd grade on, I went to Nakoma Park and then graduated from Choctaw. And probably from the 7th grade on was kind of like, man, I want to go to any other school. But anyway, there's some
the reason we're
people
talking about all this. Yeah,
is because it's our back to school special. Yay! So we have Nuggets top 10. I have a top 5. And I don't know, should I give off my top 5 first, or because I'm afraid we're going to intersect here?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, and you could correct me if I'm wrong on this one, because I could be wrong, but doesn't Dexter Holland from the band The Offspring get killed in Idle Hands?
He does.
He gets his head chopped off.
At the prom.
So I put that as my number 5 because I love Idle Hands. I think that is one of the best, like, funny, scary movies. Scary stoner movie. Seth Green is in it. Devin Sawa. Man, I'm thinking the guy who was in Daredevil and all the Mighty Ducks. I'm blanking on his name right now, but
Foggy from Daredevil. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's such a great movie. I love that movie.
And Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba. Yeah.
When she was a smoke show, like she was. Yeah, that was back in the day.
That was like, I think that was the first introduction to Jessica Alba. I think. Angela Bassett, I believe, was in that movie.
Is she the cop?
No, she's the was she a cop? I know she was the one that was tracking like the spirit, the evil spirit.
Oh, that's right. It's been so long since I've seen that, and I love that movie.
That is a great movie. Yeah.
So I wish I would have had that on my top 10.
Yeah. So I have that at number 5. At number 4, I have The Faculty.
I have that on my list too. That's a good one.
I love it. It's a great movie. It's a I don't want to say the word, but it gets in your head, like, you know, there's some conspiracy. I loved it.
And you got Josh Hartnett and Usher and Jon Stewart's in it.
Yeah. Usher,
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, it does have a good cast. And that's the one that kind of introduces you to the theory that they're like prepping us with all these movies to, you know, so that we won't believe when they actually come or whatever. Like, yeah, that was a great movie. Okay.
And isn't T2 in there too, Patrick Stewart?
I can't remember. Maybe so, yeah.
He's one of the teachers, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, that's number 3. At number 3, I have Lady in White. Do you remember this movie?
I don't know this one.
Oh my gosh, it's an old movie, like from the 80s. I remember it was like on TV all the time when I was growing up. Lucas Haas. Do you know who Lucas Haas is? If you saw a picture of him, you definitely would probably look him up or would know who he was. If you want to look him up real quick, I'll kind of tell you what the movie was about. But it's about this kid who, like, it gets picked on and stuff, and he gets locked in like the closet, the coat closet at his school, and so he sees like spirits and stuff, and like kind of some reenactments of some killings and whatnot. And man, it's just a creepy movie that, like, when I grew up, I mean, it's probably a lot tamer now by today's standards, for sure. But as a kid growing up, it creeped me out. And I think I don't know where you could watch it right now. I do believe that at one time I was watching it on YouTube, just because I was like, oh man, I haven't seen that in forever.
It's on Hulu Premium.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, but I totally recognize this kid. He's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah. Well, he's not a kid anymore, but
right. Yeah. He's definitely been in a bunch of stuff. So I like that one. Number 2 and number 1, if they're not on your list, I don't know what you're doing. Hereditary.
Oh, that's not on my list. No.
Well, that scene where he's in class and, like, oh man, that scene creeped me out. That was a good one. That, like, actually kind of gave me a little jump scare, I believe.
Was it where he hits his head on the desk?
Yes. Yeah. That was a good one. And my number 1 was Carrie.
It's a good one.
Blood on the, she gets the blood dropped on her, and
Sissy Spacek and John Travolta. And it's a De Palma movie, so it's just like the perfect back to school movie.
Like, some honorable mentions, and this one's another just goofy, stupid stoner movie from the late 90s, early 2000s. Dead Man on Campus. Did you ever watch that one?
I did, yeah.
With Tom Everett Scott and Mark Paul Gosselaar. You had to have 3 names to be in that movie.
Yeah, that's
Sean William Scott. No, he wasn't in that one. It was that other guy that was, like, in all those movies where he was like the crazy drunken guy. But yeah, that was kind of not really a horror movie per se, but like they find out that there's like supposedly this rule that if your roommate commits suicide, you get passing grades, so they're trying to find like the most suicidal person on campus to be their roommate. And yeah, so I don't know if you consider it a horror movie or not, but I throw it in there as a fun.
It's a funny one. Yeah. Well, funny in a very dark way.
This is also like, I don't know, because it wasn't in school, but Halloween, the Rob Zombie one, where little Deg Farsh, or however you say his name, like beats that kid with the with the branch, the tree branch on their way, like either home from school or to school.
Beats up the boy.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. So I'm putting that as an honorable mention.
Okay.
Not like I say, it wasn't really in school, but it was like his schoolmate. And then let's see, my reading, like my writing skills are so bad. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is also an honorable mention, which takes place.
I wish I would have put that one down. That one's great.
Yeah,
that would have been like number 2 on mine if I would have remembered it.
So I just watched it over the weekend. I got a great idea for a movie, because this is a reference from the movie, but a sequel where she grows up to marry Christian Slater, which is her one desire. But Christian Slater looks like Christian Slater from the 90s, like they deep fake it or whatever, so he looks more like he did back then. Well, of course.
Are you thinking of Luke Perry or
no? Because like she has a thing where she's like, all I want to do is grow up and marry Christian Slater. And so she does, but because he still looks young, like from the 90s, he's a vampire.
Wow.
Yeah. They should just give us the budget to make this movie right now.
I love it.
So yeah, that's all mine. So let's hit yours.
So would he be Christian Slater playing Christian Slater?
Yeah. Like, you saw The Mandalorian season 2, right?
Mandalorian.
For, I guess, spoilers for people who didn't. At the very end, Luke Skywalker's in it, and they CGI'd Mark Hamill to look like a younger Mark Hamill, and it didn't come out that great. And then this other kid, like, on the internet, deep faked it with a younger version of him from a movie, and it looked awesome. And so Disney hired that guy to work on movies and stuff.
Okay, let me ask you, how can they pull it off in some movies and then in other movies it just looks brutal?
I don't know, because like I thought the one, well, probably money, the amount of money they spend. I don't know, because like the one they did with Iron Man, when they made him look young, I thought looked pretty good. And then
Sam Jackson and Captain Marvel.
But he's easy because he doesn't look that old to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, black don't crack.
Right, exactly. But then, yeah, like, what was one that didn't look great? Carrie Fisher, maybe?
Yeah.
Kind of had like that weird glow to where it didn't really look like real.
Or anytime Mark Ruffalo was in the Hulkbuster, or even like Don Cheadle's in his suit, it looks brutal.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe with them using like that deep fake technology now, it'll look a lot more real. Looks great in porn. That's all I know. What?
So I have a top 10. At number 10, I have Child's Play Part 3.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a good one.
Set in the military school. Andy's in military school now, and Chucky. That's back before they got super silly. And
yeah, I remember. I think that was like 5th or 6th grade when that one came out, and that was kind of like the start. Like after that, I got less interested.
That was 1991.
I think that was about the time. Yeah.
And number 9, I have Jeepers Creepers 2.
Yeah. I was thinking about Jeepers Creepers because it took part on a bus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing, it's a whole school bus full of basketball team.
Right. Yeah. Because we were talking about bus movies earlier, like how that'd be. But Jeepers Creepers did do that. Jeepers Creepers did it.
At number 8, I have Prom Night.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one, but guess what? I haven't seen Prom Night.
Oh no! I'm not gonna be one of those guys that's like, you haven't seen Prom Night.
But it is. Or you're talking about the original one, right?
Yeah, the 1980 one
with oh man, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. Did you see the remake?
I did with I can't remember who's in that one, but it wasn't great.
No, okay. So you would stick to the original?
Yeah, the original's not bad.
I'm gonna watch that one.
It's not great. I mean, she was just coming off of Halloween.
Yeah. But it was by the John Carpenter as well, right? Yeah, okay. Because I mean, I love John Carpenter. Halloween, The Thing, like. So yeah, I gotta watch Prom Night. That's on my next list.
All right, number 8, or number 7, I have Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Freddy's Revenge,
Right.
which they both take 1 and 2 take place a little bit in school, but 2 is like mostly in school, and it's got a lot of metaphors for like a teenager trapped in the closet. Do you remember this?
No, I don't. Like I say, that's another one I'm going to go back and like do another deep dive on. But
so like there's a lot of theories if you look online. Basically part 2 is like Freddy is trapped inside of him, and he's got this person inside of him that needs to get out.
Right.
So if you read into it a little bit more, you're like, wait, what does this mean? Like, is this?
I get you.
And there's a gym teacher who's into like sadomasochism and like leather play. Do you remember this at all?
No, but it sounds like they're trying to do some representation, but in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, it's like not all gay men are into leather play.
Yeah, just us.
What?
Wait.
And at number 6, I have Jennifer's Body.
Okay, see, that one I saw like out there because I was trying to refresh myself on some movies too. Because like a lot of those were just ones that I had come up with off the top of my head, and then I like, oh yeah, Carrie, duh, like that one obviously number 1, but for me anyway, but I hadn't remembered. But Jennifer's Body popped up a lot. So does that take place during school or out of school?
Yeah, it's mostly set in a school. Like the whole thing is pretty much, it's about the cheerleader who gets possessed, or basically.
I didn't
possessed.
see that one. Is that one with Megan Fox?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check it out. Everybody talks about it, but I never saw that one.
It's Diablo Cody, the director who did, or the writer who did Juno.
Yeah, I like her. Okay, I'll check that one out.
Number 5, I have Disturbing Behavior.
Ooh, Disturbing Behavior.
Who had PCN's own James Marsden in it?
Yeah.
And Katie Holmes. Do you remember this one? It was kind of around the same time as The Faculty.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember that one.
In which they were both like invasion of the body snatcher type. They program these kids and they start to kind of lose it. Do you remember that? It's not bad.
I do remember that one for sure.
At number 4, I have Black Christmas, which is all set in a sorority house.
Yeah, that's right. The original or the remake?
The 74 version, not the remake, which is booty, and then the reboot, which is even more booty, extra booty.
Yeah, I thought that the latest one almost was kind of like a different type movie, like the first.
Yeah,
but the first one,
it shouldn't have been called Black Christmas.
Yeah.
It could have been a good movie on its own. Like it didn't need to have.
But that first one is over the top. I love it. I like that.
The original.
Yeah.
At number 3, I have The Craft.
I thought about The Craft. I thought about that one for sure. That's a good one. It's a real. It
was my first time I was ever attracted to the batshit crazy chick in Fairuza Balk.
Yeah. She was. I liked her a lot in that movie. You're right.
And it didn't make sense to me. Like she's nuts in the movie, but for some reason I was like, huh.
Yeah. I mean,
this might be fun.
Yeah. Look, we love nutty chicks.
Oh yeah, Sherry Moon.
Yeah, that's the one you got.
Yeah, Fairuza Balk, Nev Campbell.
Yeah,
Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah. That was like after Scream, right?
96 when Scream was. Oof.
Man, they were pretty close. I'm just trying to remember because I do like I think I talked about this on a previous podcast where we were watching The Craft at my buddy's house, like right after, it was released on video or whatever. And like, we're way out in the country and it's storming. And like right at the climax of The Craft, like the power goes out at our house. And of course we're ripped as well, like just stoned to the bone. So I was freaked out. So did you see what were the years on that?
Same year. 96.
Oh, so they could have been kind of like congruently filming those in a way, like, And Skeet, what happened to Skeet Ulrich?
I don't know. Skeet did not get the fair turn. I mean, he was in Scream and then Craft, but then just kind of.
He's just the poor man's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him in some TV maybe not too long ago. So, but yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
At number 2, I had The Faculty.
Good one. Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is a good one. And number 1, Carrie. So
there you go.
We have a couple of similar ones.
There you go.
And did you like the Carrie reboot and the Carrie sequel?
No, I don't think I saw the sequel to it. Was there a sequel? Oh, you mean like the sequel to the original one?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw the sequel. And then the reboot was with Chloe Grace Moretz.
Moretz, yeah.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was, it kind of seemed more like the book in some ways to me, but it wasn't like, it was one of those movies where I just didn't think it needed to be remade.
Yeah, it's pretty flawless on its own.
Yeah. But
the sequel had a homeboy from Tool Time, not JTT, but the older one.
Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, that one. So when did that one come out?
Ooh, that had to have been early 2000s.
Okay,
it's called Carrie 2: The Rage.
Oh yeah. I do remember that movie. I don't think I saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
It was 99. So. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not great. I mean, again, it's why even touch it? Carrie's fine on its own. It's like The Shining,
yeah,
or even Exorcist. Like, just leave them alone.
Yeah, I agree. Although they're remaking The Exorcist, The Shining. That's one that with Dr. Sleep, I was so nervous about that book and that, and the movie was great too, but. Like when I read that book, I was like, man, how's it going to be? How can you really do a sequel to The Shining? It's just so great. You're just going to water it down. But did you ever read the book, the actual book?
Of The Shining or
no,
Sleep?
Either.
No.
Well, both of them. Yeah. The Shining is one of the scariest books I've ever read. And I remember like one of the guys, Joey on Friends, said that. And I was like, he's exactly right, even though he's the dumb guy. It is like a super scary movie or book, and the movie too. But like, so I love that. And then when the book came out, Dr. Sleep, I was just like, oh man. But the way that he wrote it, with it being the same character, Danny, but just, it wasn't the same. It wasn't really the same book. And then the movie, I thought, really captured the book very well. And that doesn't always happen. And I really enjoyed the movie. Did you see the movie?
Yeah, Dr. Sleep.
Did you like it?
I thought it was fine. I mean, I never read the book, so, and I think Joey King's a decent, right? You like Nosferatu too, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Joe King. I keep saying Joey King like he's the.
Did he help out on Dr. Sleep?
Didn't he write Dr. Sleep?
No,
did King write it?
Stephen King wrote it. I don't know if his son helped out on it though. He could have. But yeah. Stephen King did write it because it is a sequel to The Shining, but yeah, I loved it. I loved the book. The book is pretty epic, and I thought the movie captured it. And there's a director's cut too, which I always try to watch the director's cut when I can, because I'm snobby like that. Yeah. Carrie.
Speaking of, Carrie is my number one. Yeah, I think we both agree that's the best.
Yeah, iconic. I mean, her getting the blood dropped on her is just,
and the whole like bullying thing in school.
Yeah,
like she in the showers, that first couple, it's
they're all gonna laugh at you.
You're like, I hope she gets revenge on these people.
Yeah. Now, see, in the remake, wasn't it? Dang, it was the lady that was in. Oh man, she's been in so much stuff. She was. Like Dirk
Julianne
Dickler's
Moore?
girlfriend. Yeah, that's her.
Julianne Moore plays the mom.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job as the mom in this one. I really did. In the remake. I don't think the remake is without any merit. I just thought it was kind of like, it wasn't groundbreaking either. But yeah, man, like that's just a great one. And people, if you're listening or watching and you want to comment some of your favorite ones, because you might be sitting there like, oh, what about it? Or which it kind of is more like a summer. It takes place in the summer. There was like a scene with like in the new one with the kid down in the library or whatever. But I consider that like if we were going to do like a summertime movie, we'll do that next summer at the beginning of next summer.
Honorable mentions I had. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Night of the Creeps.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No.
With the slugs or whatever they were. H2O.
I thought about H2O. It takes place at a boarding school, and it's a good one. I like that one.
With my boy LL Cool J.
Yeah, I did enjoy that one.
Guard.
Yeah, I like that one.
And I had Scream on there too, because it's a little bit in a school.
Yeah,
I mean, Henry Winkler gets capped in the school.
I almost put that on my list because of Henry Winkler getting capped at the school. But again, I kind of thought you might put it on your list, so I wasn't sure.
And there's there's the good cameo with Wes Craven mopping the floor dressed
Freddy.
as Krueger.
Yeah. So, but I was going to ask you, since we're talking about Scream real quick, did you ever watch the show? I think it maybe was on MTV at first, and now it's on Netflix.
I never watched the show. No.
Oh, okay. I didn't either.
I didn't even give it a shot.
Me either, because I was like MTV, so I was like, ugh. Wasn't the Teen Wolf on MTV? Because I know Cameo liked that one, but that was another one I was like, not gonna do it.
Yeah, if it's not Michael J, I don't want to. I mean, or I guess Jason Bateman.
I would definitely watch Jason Bateman do a sequel to Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf also.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, like he should do it as a grown up, as Jason Bateman now.
Yeah, that'd be so perfect. We have two great movie ideas: Buffy the Vampire Slayer 2 and Teen Wolf also. We need budgets here. But yeah, I was trying to think of like some other. Did you have some more honorable mentions?
No, that's about it. I think there's in that whole like slasher era after Scream. They did like Urban Legend, and there was a couple in there, but not my faves.
Yeah, because I know What You Did Last Summer was like the start of that, where it was like, okay, Scream did great with this, teen cast. Let's start, pumping out some more of those. And The Faculty, like you said, was also one. So yeah, that started kind of a trend of all those. But yeah, those are good ones. I like those, and I'm sure we'll think of some more that I'll comment. On the shows if I think of any more that pop up into my brain. So the other day, before we get out of here, was Friday the 13th, which happens, I don't know, a few times a year at least. But the next day, Saturday the 14th, which, did you ever see that movie?
I didn't, no.
That was like one of those that I always saw like on the shelf. And was always like, nah, I don't think so.
Is it a parody? It's a real movie.
I don't know, to be honest. That's what I was going to ask you. I did see, I don't know if it was on Amazon or Netflix or HBO Max, one of those. But remember I was telling you about Return to Salem's Lot? It's on there if you want to try to. I was thinking about trying to watch it again this time because I didn't make it far the time I watched it as a teenager. But so yeah, I did decide on Saturday the 14th, I had some time, so I binge watched Friday the 13th. And I just wanted to share a couple thoughts with you because I got up to, I think it was 7.
Yeah.
Or maybe 6. Because it was like, the 4th one is when Tommy shows up, right? Corey Feldman?
Yes.
Or is that the 3rd one?
Oh.
No.
I think the 3rd or 4th.
I think it's the 4th one, yeah. Because I think the 3rd one was almost like a throwaway kind of, like it was all right, but it wasn't that great. And then Tommy shows up, and then after that, like I forgot like how the movies kept like basing it off of Tommy's character too. You know what I mean?
Like almost at one point, Tommy was the new Jason. Like
yeah,
they kind of played around with that.
Yeah, and so I kind of started losing interest, so I didn't get all the way through it because I never did see Jason Takes Manhattan and Jason Goes to Hell or whatever. So those are ones that I kind of do want to see, but I don't know if they're any good either. Or Jason X.
Oh, Jason X is awesome.
Oh yeah. See,
it's so awesomely bad. Like it's great.
Okay. So I mean, I'm gonna continue on, but I got to like either 6 or 7, and like one of them, I'm pretty sure I slept through most of it, but it was fine to watch it that way from what I saw. But what I really appreciated, and I know there's like a behind the scenes DVD or video that I want to rent to watch. And have you seen that one? Because I know you're big.
Yeah, it's like, I have the book and the DVD. It's like Crystal Lake, stories from Crystal Lake or something.
So you've seen it. Maybe you can answer some of these questions. But when they made the first 3 movies, because the first one, and a lot of people do forget this, the first one, you barely even see Jason. It's more about his mom, right?
Yeah, Linda Voorhees.
And she channels Jason, but you do see that there is an actual Jason. She thought he was dead. She thought he had drowned. And so the second movie, you get more of Jason, but he's like got a bag on his head. And then the third, no, I think Tommy does show up in the third movie. I think he does, because it doesn't take place in any of the camps, but it's this girl who Jason had attacked, and she's at her like lake house, and Tommy's family lives like down the street, if I remember right.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of remember that.
And so that's when you start. That's when you start getting Jason in the hockey mask, because Shelly, like the dweeb who none of the girls want to date, and who has to like fakes his death and stuff, like as a joke to them, and they all get annoyed by him. He had the hockey mask, and after Jason kills him, he puts it on. So Shelly was actually the one that kicked all that off, but he was such a nerd that nobody probably remembers him either. But one of the things that I remembered about that that I thought notable, was that reboot that you asked me about, like how I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good, but like it was basically that movie without Tommy that they remade, because it was like all of them at their lake house, right? And so I liked that reboot, but it kind of skipped over like the whole building of Jason. He shows up as badass Jason, and and that's cool too. But like the first 2 movies really did build up his character a lot before it got to him in the third movie. So were those movies planned like that? Or was it like the first movie was really good, they kind of set it up so that they could do some building off of it, and then hopefully it did it good enough in the box office to get another one? Did they talk about that at all in those movies?
I don't know, because they jump around with the directors. So I'm not sure if that was the plan the whole time.
Because rarely do you see these movies where they start building on it and it improves like that over 3 movies. You see what I mean? Like a lot of the times you got Michael Myers in the first movie, and then second and third movie he just hits the ground running. But in this one, they really did kind of build the whole Jason character and his backstory and all that. And it just kind of impressed me that they really did take the time to do that, or if they just dumb lucked into it.
Yeah.
Which could be both. Yeah. It could be that they dumb lucked into it. But yeah, the other thing I noticed, especially in the first movie, the soundtrack, like the orchestra soundtrack, is very, not the or whatever it actually is, but the actual orchestra is very similar to Psycho.
Yeah,
very similar to Psycho. And so I was noticing that, and I sent you a text like I had forgotten, like, were they ripping them off? Was that just like the de jour sound of movie slashers after Psycho, or I was kind of wondering too if it was that they did that purposefully, because if you really think about the first movie, it's an inverted Psycho, because Psycho is Norman Bates, whose mom is dead, channeling his dead mom, and then in the first Friday the 13th, it's Jason's mom channeling him. So
yeah,
I wonder.
And I never really thought about that until you sent me the text, and I was like, that's a pretty. I'd like to kind of research that. I didn't, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm going to watch that DVD and stuff. So I'm going to look into it too, because these are questions I really would like to know. But yeah, like I really came away with a lot better appreciation of the Friday the 13th series. Like I always enjoyed it, but I never really got like as into it as I did kind of binge watching them all. And the thing about them are, most of them are not that long, and they're pretty good with the action. You know,
yeah.
Actually, the first one though, to me, the last quarter of the movie is way better than the first three quarters of that movie. But,
it's pretty slow.
Yeah,
yeah.
But once you get to that last part, you're like, ooh, and then if you can, you know, like I say, binge watch the rest of them, and it's pretty good. So yeah, I got to go through the back half now of that whole series. I did see Freddy versus Jason back in the day, and I enjoyed that one. So.
Well, Jason X is a lot like that one.
Oh, okay.
Like it's just fun.
I'll check it out. And then, of course, like I say, I'm gonna go back to the whole Freddy movies too, and check those all out.
So 7, it gets a little weird because he battles a psychic girl. the final girl is psychic, and she can fight him with her mind. It's like, and then the Jason Takes Manhattan is just ridiculous, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Is it as good as the Muppets Take Manhattan? Like
no, not nearly as good.
Oh, okay.
And there's no animal. And he does punch a dude's head off. Nice.
Well, you know, like that was one of the, so like after 3, I think in 4, because in 3, like you think Jason's dead because Tommy's killed him, and then Tommy's kind of like, you know, like they infer that he might be, you know, kind of trending towards the dark side. But then in 4, like they go back to not showing you Jason, like more in that first person kind of view of him killing people. So you're like, is it Tommy or is it Jason? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was interesting that they did that. They tried that, because like that was very much the first movie, and even the second movie with the first, you know, the first person killing, because you did. But see, by the time they got to the third movie, they were like, all right, Jason's our guy. He's our killing machine guy. So, so yeah, I loved them. So that's my little deep dive into them after I watched them all the other day. Any thoughts that you'd like to share other than that?
Can I draw you again?
Yes, I'd love it. Do you want me with my shirt off this time?
Nude.
Yeah, I was gonna say shirt off this time.
Yeah, man. Like, it'll be tasteful.
I love it. Well, what if we do that on the next show?
Okay. All right.
Just I got stuff to do. So.
All right.
Yeah. So it's time for me to get out of here, man.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I got some videotapes to return, my man.
All right, man. I'll be right back.